I want to talk about magic tonight. What is magic? You know, there are those in Cupertino who would tell you that they've got some devices that are magical devices. And are they really? I mean, do they really do the same types of things that other computers can do? I don't know if that's magic or not. So what does magic mean when we think about devices like tablets and touch technology? Is it the wow factor that we get when we get them? They're cool to use and to hold and to touch and to use, but does that make them magic? Is the fact that we're getting to the post-PC practice, the post-PC era, is that what's magic? I can tell you what's not magic. It's not magic that an iPad is not going to make you a better lawyer. It's not going to change the facts or give you facts that are going to help you win the case. So what I'd like to do in this talk is talk about what is magic, how you can capture that magic in your practice. When the iPad was first introduced, the reaction was incredibly underwhelming. Just a big iPod Touch. We've seen tablets before. They're big and clunky, and that's not magic. What does this have to do? There were a lot of negative reactions, but that's a year ago. And what a difference a year makes. 96 million, it's 9.6 billion in sales last year, over 29.4 billion projected this year. A large chunk of that is going to be corporate sales because 80% of the Fortune 100 are piloting tablets for their workers. This is some kind of trend we're seeing. A better trend that I really like to use is the developer community. This is a trend that shows what developers are doing for the Apple and Google developer conferences. 2 years ago, it took 30 to 60 days to sell out the conference. This year, it took under 12 hours because developers get it. They know that this is what mobile technology is where we're headed. I also like this stat, my last stat of the day. If you could only use one mobile device, when tablets are added to the mix this year, fully 20% would gladly chunk their smartphone or their laptop to use a tablet device. Is that where we're headed with mobile? Are we headed with technology? Are we headed to the true post-PC era, as Steve likes to put it? Gartner says that PC sales are going to decline dramatically this year and in coming years, but they're not going to go away entirely. In fact, you'll probably find a lot of people out there who say, this is not the end of the PC era. The PC's here to stay. We got a lot of people talking about this. After all, you can't run full-fledged programs on a tablet computer. And my gosh, if you get a computer that doesn't have Microsoft Office, then what good is that? Well, still, I think that what you have to understand, and one of the criticisms that I do think is something that I early saw with tablets, is that it was seen primarily as a content consumption device. That's where it got the criticism. I read CNN, I read USA Today, I love to watch TV shows on Hulu, I read my customized magazine on Flipboard or Zeit, and you can tell that when people answer this question, how do you use your tablet, they also say the exact same thing. Everything is entertainment or content consumption based. You notice that working is down at the very bottom. And I didn't even include the full list, and working is still at the bottom of that list. But things change. Just think about what's happened over the past year. Over the past year, we now have apps that allow us to make movies, to write music. And in the past 2 weeks, Adobe has come out with, is announced that they're going to be introducing a full-fledged version of Photoshop to put on the tablet. So people are finding out ways to use these that we hadn't thought of when that tablet first came out, which is why the iPad is like a microwave oven. When the microwave first came out, people thought, why would we ever want this? The oven does this much better than what a microwave could do. We couldn't think of anything that we could use with it. But every house in this country has a microwave, and it's because people kept finding new ways to use it. So let's talk about new ways to use tablets and maybe present or prepare for a post-PC practice. The first thing you need are the tools of the trade for lawyers, your case law, your rules, your codes. Everything that you've got can be easily put into an app. You can actually access the CFRs, the Constitution, any rule that you have that you put in a briefcase, you now have on your iPad. You can edit documents, you can mark up case law, you can look at spreadsheets. It's not great for content creation yet. We're getting there, but the iPad is a tremendous device for being productive when you happen to be out of the office. It's when we get to the legal related related apps that I think that tablets really shine. You can pick a jury, you can monitor the reactions of that jury throughout the trial, you can even take your documents and show them to the judge or the jury or a witness during the trial. And that's pretty magical, don't you think? Now, let's think about, or come back to the idea of magic, and I'll use a definition that I really happen to like. It defines magic as something that assures human control over the forces of nature. That's what we're really talking about here, isn't it? Control. I mean, computers do an amazing job of helping us to do things that we couldn't do in the analog world, but somehow they broke the connection between us and the medium. The democratization of technology has given us, the access to technology has given us a lot, but in some ways, computers have also created technology elite, where tablets are able to bring us back because they give us control. We are no longer intimidated or alienated by the technology because it's easy to use. Think about this. Lawyers used to use legal pads, put pen to paper. It's easy. You can get to the medium. It was a joy to work with. Computers are great to work with, but sometimes they erect barriers between our ideas and the means that we use to express them. The tablet brings those two together and gives you the best of both worlds. So I suggest that we're not entering a post-PC world, but a PC enhancement world in which the tools that we use make it easier for us to provide the services that we want to our clients. That's what it's really all about, to be able to practice the law you want and to be able to serve your clients the way they deserve to be served. And that's really where the magic is, isn't it? Thank you very much.